we need more research. All of the resources and effort and time and money that goes into proving what we already know to be true, which is that vaccines don't cause autism.
If you go to the CDC website, you can see and you search autism and MMR. You will see on the front page that they state that autism is not related to MMR.
Coming back to your point that you said you don't have enough data, but we've got a CDC whistleblower, Dr. William Thompson, who said there was a connection between the vaccine and autism. However, that data was dumped, meaning you would not be able to read it and you wouldn't be able to assess that event.
What I'm saying is we have been silent. If we want to say something, they've been saying, oh, those are the parents, they are lying. Our community are being used. When you take your child and he's a normal, he's talking, and you take to the doctor, I'm being immunized, and he come back, he has seizure, he has fever, he's not talking the way he was talking. We have videos, the kids who were talking before, and afterward, they're not talking. Some are very serious than others. He's a Somali doctor. We never knew autism what it was. But what we were expecting him to go to the Somali families who are their children are sick and say, ask them, question them, what is wrong with your child? Not coming to this panel, just talking more immunized, and add more to the fire.
Thank you.
Are you telling us now that we are lying?
And the timing that these things occur makes parents suspect that the government or somebody is hiding something. But we are honestly looking at the data that we have as of today. I didn't find any evidence.
My job is to protect my patient and
study your patient and move forward with them, learn from them and their bodies and how they're responding.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, when you came out and saying, I don't think these vaccines are working, I don't want to give them to my patients anymore, did you get any pushback?
Tremendous from my colleagues. That I'm off the wagon, and I said, well, I'm glad I'm off the wagon, and because you're going on the wrong cliff. And then I really got attacked after I did the interview with Paulie. I had death threats.
Wow.
Somebody slashed my tire.
Really?
Yeah. And I had people also coming to my office pretending that, they were the anti-vax movement and having a discussion with me. And then after a couple of minutes, you know what the agenda is. And then when I would kind of try to shut it down, and, they would say things, what happened to this doctor over here, Dr. Brzezinski, and this doctor over here, Dr. Bradstreet, you might be on that list.
Wow.
Saying directly to me like that. And I said, wow.
And as soon as a doctor starts coming to a conclusion that the vaccines are not working for my patients, we don't go, well, let's get deeper into that. Let's start doing some research. Let's do some science. We go out and we bully you and intimidate you as though somehow you work for the mob.
Absolutely.
Which I think is really terrifying. That's where it begins. Then you go, well, where's the science that shows you're allowed to be bullying me, that somehow I've lost my mind? And it doesn't exist.
Yeah. We looked into areas like where should we move to? I mean, I looked back into Vietnam, which now is a more freer country. So maybe I could go back to Vietnam now.
Oh, man. Look, I haven't been to Vietnam. I'm sure it's beautiful, but that's terrifying. I think that, and when you start hearing, and you're not the first person, but when I start hearing that you are so concerned about the control and the government moving in on you and your practice, on our children here in California, mandating laws, you can't send them to school, that you're actually considering going back to Vietnam where you escaped from.
Yes.
That's a terrifying thought. The doctor's job is primarily to take care of their patient. It's between them and their patient. They don't call some senator to ask what to do for the patient. But now it feels like there's this state moving in, bureaucrats. Now, do you feel like they're starting to tell you how to do your job?
100%. All the time. Every single day.
It's assumed that your parents represent your best interest, and that's not always true. And when it's not true, as is true in this case, where parents have, say, a false belief that vaccines cause autism and they don't want to vaccinate their child, Who do those children go to? And I think the answer is they go to the state.
If you're trying to answer the question of whether or not the combination measles, mumps, rubella causes autism, you frame that as the null hypothesis, right? MMR does not cause autism. You can do two things with that null hypothesis. You can reject it or you cannot reject it, but you can't accept it. You can never accept the null hypothesis. You can never prove never. You really can never say MMR vaccine doesn't cause autism because the scientific method never allows you to say that.